Welcome to Talk Junkies, everyone. This is Paul here again. I'm going to do the Chiefs-Browns matchup coming up this Sunday in Cleveland and just my prediction of how the game's going to go. So, I know this is the battle of Mayfield versus Mahomes, and this is the rematch from the last time that they played each other in college, and it was a shootout, and that's when Patty had the most yards ever thrown, or the most total yards over 800, I think 806 yards total in college football history. So I think the tail of the tail for this game is just going to be the Browns' defense against our offense because Mayfield's just not looking like he's ready to play in the NFL. I think give him a couple years and we'll see what happens because he showed flashes this year of what he can be in the NFL, especially the first game that he came in and he won the game. And they've won 2 games this year, so kudos to them. They tied one. They've been in the most overtime games this year. But when it comes to defense, let's just see where they rank in defense. So defensively, they're not like the best ranked team defensively. I know that they play pretty well. When it comes to points scored against the Cleveland Browns, they're 24th in the league with 26.2 points per game. Yards per game, they're 28th with 414. So they do give up a lot of yards. The third down conversion, they're actually 6th in at 34.8%. So they're pretty good on third down. I know they cause a lot of turnovers. I think they're number one. Well, I know they're number one in the turnover differential this year. So they are doing something right. It could be coaching. Maybe that's why they're not doing too well. But the fact of the matter is they give up a lot of points. So 26 points per game, and you're going against the number one offense in football. It's not really a good recipe for success for the Cleveland Browns. When it comes to opponent yards rushing, it's 4.6 yards per carry. So Kareem's going to have a pretty good game, in my opinion. And we'll see if Patty's going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think he could potentially throw 10 touchdowns in the next 2 games because we played them and the Cardinals back-to-back. So it could be a really good fantasy week for Patty, and everyone included, actually. It's just who's going to get the ball the most, who's going to eat, and all that good stuff. I say I'm a lot. Sorry. I'm going to work on that. Opponent's completion percentage, it's pretty high. They're second, it's almost 60%, but they're second in the league in that. And they're 5th in the league at an opponent's interceptions thrown percentage at 3.63%. They have their turnover differentials at 11, I'm pretty sure. So, takeaways a game, they're number 1 at 3 takeaways a game. So they are good at creating turnovers, and that's just what their game is, and that's what keeps them in the games and going into overtime and all that good stuff. I think the Chiefs just have too much firepower against the Browns to really even make it a close game. I think the spread is 8.5. The Chiefs are going to cover the spread. It's going to be, I'm going to go 35 to 14 would be my guess. Chiefs defense is starting to come around, and especially against the Browns team that just fired their head coach and their offensive coordinator. They're going to be in shambles. They may play well, and they may play well in the first 2 quarters, but then the Chiefs are just going to overpower them in the second half. This isn't one of those games where the Chiefs overlook the Browns. Patty's probably got a chip on his shoulder from that college football game when he was with Texas Tech and they played Oklahoma and they lost. And he's going to go out there and he's going to play, and he's going to show Baker who's the real quarterback is in the NFL right now, who the future of the NFL quarterbacks are, and it's Patty Mahomes. So it's going to be a good game for the Chiefs, and I think it's just going to be too much firepower for the Browns to handle. Patty's he's gonna have 3 or 4 touchdowns. Kareem's gonna run the ball for over 100 yards. He's gonna have maybe over 150 yards scrimmage yards, and all that good stuff. So we'll see defensively where maybe the Browns maybe they have some sort of advantage against the Chiefs. The only advantage it seems like is on third down and whenever it comes to turnovers, because Patty just recently in the past 3 or 4 games he started to throw some interceptions, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Even if Patty throws 2 picks, I don't think it's going to be close. And that's just going to be the biggest key. So it's going to be turnovers and third down percentage. So when it comes to defense and it comes to their secondary, because that's going to be the biggest thing, trying to guard our wide receivers and Travis Kelce, I don't really see where they're going to have an advantage. I mean, you got Jabril Peppers, you got Demarius Randall, TJ Carey, Denzel Ward, Denzel Rice, and then you have Tavarius Thomas and E.J. Gaines, who used to play for the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure, and Brian Body Calhoun, and Derek Kindridge. So, and then James Collins Sr. So, as a linebacker, I don't think that they have the depth in the secondary side. That's why they're giving up so many yards per game, over 400 per game. So the Chiefs are going to have it. And in the red zone, I know that we've struggled just a tad bit, not too terribly than what we were at the beginning of the season. So I think that it's just going to be too much firepower. I don't think the defense for the Cleveland Browns are going to be able to do what they've been doing. I mean, you look at Pittsburgh last week. They played them tough in the first half, and then Ben Roethlisberger does Ben Roethlisberger things, and they're coming onto their own, and then they just tore up the Browns right after that. So it's going to be the Patty show, man, for the Browns. Like I said, 35-14 is my prediction, maybe 35-17, and that's just going to help boost the Chiefs' defensive stats. The next two games are, and it's going to make the Chiefs' defense look better than what it really is. But, I mean, any game is an NFL game, so you have to give credit when credit is due. Mayfield, I don't think he's going to have the greatest game this week. I think we're going to get a lot of pressure. D Ford, the best pass rusher in football right now, defensive player of the month with 6 sacks and like 2 or 3 forced fumbles, maybe 4. I can't remember. I was looking on Instagram the other day and saw it. But our defense is just going to be too much, plain and simple. Maybe they have a good wide receiver game. Maybe Nick Chubb runs the ball. If the Browns are smart, that's what they're going to do against the Chiefs. It's the only chance that they have at winning is just running the football, controlling the clock, because the Chiefs tend towards right around 28 to like 27 minutes per possession of the whole game when they're away. So the only way the Browns could have any sort of chance against the Chiefs is just hand the ball to Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson Jr. and hope for the best. Because if they carry the ball 30 times and they can be successful against the Chiefs like any other team that's trying the ball against us, I think that that's the only way that the Browns have any sort of chance of beating the Chiefs this week. So with that being said, expect to see Nick Chubb. If you have him on your fantasy team, definitely start him. We'll see if they do a 2 running back platoon. Maybe Duke gets about 5 to 8 carries this week, but I think Nick Chubb's going to get the ball a lot. And if he does, it'll be a closer game than if Mayfield throws the ball 40 times, because that's the trend. If the Browns can make a few stops at the beginning of the game, the first 2 drives, and force the Chiefs to punt the ball, and then they run the ball and they put like 10 points to 14 points on the board, I think that it changes the game a little bit, allows the Browns to control the clock and run the ball in each possession 2 to 3 times, and not really put Mayfield in a position where he has to win the game and throw the ball. Because the few games that I've watched Mayfield play, he just doesn't get the ball out of his hands fast enough. I don't think he's there yet. I think he tends to take a lot of sacks as opposed to running outside the pocket and throwing the ball away. So, I mean, maybe it is a plus that he stays in the pocket and looks for plays to develop, but they don't have the time from the offensive line to actually have a play progress and have him be successful as a quarterback in football right now. So we'll see. And like I said, with D Ford just playing lights out right now, and I don't know if Justin Houston's practicing yet. I know Daniel Sorensen is, so maybe he plays. But I think that this is where we're going to see our defense shine. It's going to be maybe just a replay of when we played Cincinnati, because the defense is going to be ready that much this time. They're going to be ready to go. And they better be ready to stop the run, because if not, I think that this could be the game where the Browns could make it closer than it should be. So that being said, the Chiefs are going to have a great game. I listed the reasons why I think the Browns may have a chance to keep the game close, and that's strictly only running the ball. They have to run the ball 30 to 40 times, keep the ball out of Baker's hands, and just leave it at that. Granted, our secondary isn't the best, and maybe they could make Mayfield look better, and he could expose the Chiefs' secondary for what it is. But at the same time, I don't think Mayfield's ready to do that yet. I maybe see him going, and knowing the NFL, I think he's probably going to end up throwing the ball 30 times. I think he'll have 16 to 17 pass completions, 30 attempts. He'll have 1 interception, and he'll get sacked 3 to 4 times, and he'll have 1 touchdown, 1 passing touchdown. Nick Chubb, if he gets 20 carries, he's going to have over 125 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, would be my guess, if that's the way that they go. I still think they only put 14 to 17 points on the board, and the Chiefs put 30+ to cover the spread, and we'll see you next week at Arrowhead when we play the Cardinals. So those are my predictions, man, for the Browns game this week. Hit me up, Talk Junkies, man, all my junkies out there. Thanks for listening. hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, like down below, comment down below. Let me know what you think of my predictions. Let me know if you're a Browns fan, what you think is going to happen. Eventually, this channel will progress into a very fun channel to watch, especially whenever it comes to live streaming. I do have it set up to where I can take phone calls, so via Skype. So I think that would be cool, getting people involved. But that's just a little bit down the road. So check us out. We have some other videos down below, a lot of sports videos. And then me and my buddy Jesse, we get into some other stuff, politics and life, and just how life is crazy in general. So let me know what you guys think. Check it out, and have a great day. I'll talk to you later, my junkies.